Good morning, good evening, and good unspecified hour of the day to you and your kin. Thank you for tuning in to the Locationally Challenge podcast. We call it that because each episode is filmed in a new location. Today's episode emanates from the local Target department store. My name is Jacob Vanderweide, and I'm the writer, director, producer, caffeine connoisseur, and lead editor on today's program. A quick note before we begin the show. A great portion of what we are about to say is either embellished or blatantly untrue. Now, let's begin. Joining me on the men's clothing aisle are Soraya Goodman, an unplanned cast member, Zlata Kolesnik, David Mays, MJ Blanton, John Strange, Ryan Thornburg, Christian Young, and Tyler Harity. It is a blessing from God that I remembered all of their last names. Now that I have introduced them, I would like to open our show with a brief monologue. What is Target? Target is a corporation. Excuse me, I must get this quote correct. Target Corporation is an American big box department store chain headquartered in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is the 8th largest retailer in the United States and a component of the S&P 500 index. Target was established as the discount division of Dayton's department store of Minneapolis in 1962. Yes, just like every other podcaster, I did no research of my own, but instead chose to quote Wikipedia verbatim. But Wikipedia is entirely irrelevant. What really matters is what I think. Target is a wonderland of imagination if you are a 4-year-old. Target is a bountiful harvest of leavened grains if you're a soccer mom. And Target is a fashion paradise if you're a 20-year-old white girl with daddy's credit card in your purse. But those are the emotions experienced by others when stepping into Target. The real question that I know all of you want to know is, what do I feel when I walk into a Target? The answer may shock you. Click on this top 10 list to find out now. Now, with more thought put into this than multiple BuzzFeed articles combined, I will require my co-host to answer these forced questions. John, on your daily visit to Target, what do you enjoy most within the walls of this fine establishment?
I find that when you walk into Target, you can really lose yourself, both mentally and spiritually and physically. You can sort of walk towards what you want generally and then end up totally somewhere else, not be able to find the exit, but hopefully eventually you'll be able to purchase the item you accidentally grabbed off an aisle it didn't belong on.
That's horrifying in a special way. As our Tempur-Pedic sleep correspondent, MJ, what section of Target is best for taking a nap?
So they actually have a section at the front of some of the larger stores, which are called super Targets, where you can buy pretzels with like completely fake queso. And I really think that there's nothing like taking a nap right after you've eaten just a very large pretzel with plastic cheese.
Ryan, tell our listeners about how to live a fulfilling life while trapped inside a Target store indefinitely.
Well, mathematically, we couldn't be trapped inside a Target indefinitely, though there is a foods aisle which would allow you to live for up to 7 years inside of a Target if you were indeed trapped. The best way to live a fulfilling life inside of the Target is to shop till you drop and spread the word of the Lord to all the other interned shoppers which have been trapped with you. Now, that is the way that I would fulfill my life and trapped inside of a Target, but that question may be left up to our other listeners.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure anything you just said entered my brain, but, Soraya, I have to ask you, have you ever made out with someone in Target?
Not only have I not made out with somebody in Target, but I would never and have never talked to another person. So I would like to keep it that way. Please stop looking at me. I don't want to talk to you.
Wow, your teeth really tell a story. Zlata, would you ever consider theft?
Not as a non-U.S. citizen, not to be deported from here, no.
Deportation is a vibe, as the youths might say. Could you explain to our listeners how a world without Target would be better for society, Christian?
Yes, well, see, a world without Target would cause all people to immediately cease functioning. And as we all know, people are the biggest problem with this planet, except for the fact that we are created by the Lord, so...
That was not theologically sound. Neither is your haircut. Thank you all for your moist insight. I think I speak for every co-host present when I say to Target, God forgive us.
Hey guys, Disney Channel star Ryan here. Before we go any further, I just want to pipe in and give a quick shout out to anyone who participated in parkour within the last 17 months. You go, girl. Anyway, back to the show.
Thank you. I would now like to, again, recklessly pass over the mic to our ASMR correspondent, Tyler, who will today be impersonating a Target employee at approximately 13 decibels.
Hey, welcome to Target. What could I get you? Oh, you're looking for those shoes in size 11? Okay, well, let me go get them for you. Oh, sorry, I dropped something real quick. Here, let me grab that. Well, you know what? We got the size 11 right here. I'm sorry about that problem. And we'll be delivering it to your house right about now. Sorry, we decided to don't record me.
Normally I cut him off before that, but I was enjoying it a little too much that time. I think it's time for current events with John.
Well, thank you, and thank you also, Ryan, for that shout-out. By the way, this is Juan Stranger here. Jacob, overheard you saying earlier, I am pro in tennis. It is now time once again for my favorite segment, the current events segment. Today, we'll be discussing what's new underwater. Crustaceans, for instance, do be living their best lives right now, so let's watch right along with them. Zlata, some researchers claim to have found the mega gold shark still alive today. Would you trust Target to sell you megalodon meat?
I would like to ask for a definition of the word in Ukrainian, please.
Unfortunately, we don't offer that service yet. It will be coming next podcast, I hope. There is a lot that we don't know about the Earth's oceans, however. Tyler, what do you think we could discover down there?
You know, personally, I'm really looking forward to the first Chicago deep dish pizza that was lodged in the Titanic back in 1942. I'm looking forward to the excavation of that, because that's going to make my life a living hell, you know? So
I'm going to have to cut in. Can we get a definition for excavation in Ukrainian, please?
Niet.
I'm more of a New York guy myself, but that might be down there too. A Christian, what is your underwater phone number?
Oh, so you have to add the underwater area code to the above land area code, then subtract 1300. So that would be X Chi Alpha Zeta 3.
And if I text that one, will you actually answer my texts?
Heck no.
All right. David, tell our listeners about the effect of NFTs on the ocean's surface.
Well, you see, the problem is when you cover the entire dang ocean with pictures of monkeys, it's kind of hard for, everything under those monkeys to live. So, when you cover the whole dang ocean, I think most everything dies.
Well, that does make sense. And lastly, Ryan, what's your favorite wet product sold at Target?
Well, I have two, and they're both tied. So the wet dog food aisle has a wonderful selection of some of the finest dog foods that I've ever had. And what I personally like to do is go get a gallon of water and dump it over the nicest pair of jeans that I can find, and then buy them still wet, take them home and wear them.
My personal favorite is Tide Pods, dipped in milk like cereal. That was a sloshing good time. Well, listeners, this concludes our current event segment. Flop around, do the worm, and wave at me later, my sailor pals. Up next is the new cultural immersion segment.
Hey learners, Christian here. Because I lost my keys the other day, Jacob gave me the honor of teaching you a language. Here we go. Bonan matenan, bonan vesperan. Kaj bonan nespecification horon de la tago al vicaj viaj parancaj. Dankam pro adorgio de la loc defita podcasto. Sed seriose, kial vi genis multe por malcodi Ĉi tiun mesaĝon. Jacob estas... No. Kaj fiera, kaj... No. No. I'm not saying that. That's it. We'll learn more in future podcasts.
I don't know why you would say that. There was nothing uncomfortable in that statement.
Close enough to Spanish.
And I say it all the time. So I think you're just... That was mind-boggling. I'd like to issue a challenge to our listeners. Try to figure out what Christian just said and leave your guesses in the comment section below. Fun fact, Christian has no idea what I just made him say. Back to work, employees. On to our last segment for today. Just so happens to be the show-stopping roundtable discussion. Called that because I ponder the deeper connotations of King Arthur's Knights every other day. If you remember one of our previous podcasts, this is the part of the show where I ask my co-host a controversial question, and they respond in their unique, artistic voices. Our question today relates to our location in a Target store. Friends and Christian. What can families do to decrease their grocery bills while shopping in Target?
I think if they made a list, this is an idea I came up with. You get sort of a long, thin paper, and you write a list of what you need down on the paper, and then you only buy those things. I think your bill would go down a lot.
My personal solution is to actually eat while inside of Target. Therefore, they can't charge me if I haven't left the store. Drinking at least 3 gallons of milk and then eating cereal directly afterwards has led to great progress in my quest to save on grocery bills.
Well, personally, I choose to go to the neighboring Walmart instead to buy 5-cent goods for the same price. Now, I'm sure they're out of date. Actually, I know for a fact they're out of date. I don't think bread is supposed to be blue. But regardless, it's blue cheese bread, alright?
Jonathan Swift came up with the perfect solution back in the 1800s. He recommended having extra children. So...
Sorry, we're strapped for time. Nobody knows who that is.
All right, so I think really the main solution that you could go for is actually just to walk into the frozen aisle and cryogenically freeze yourself for a few years. That'll cut down, and when you get back out, hopefully inflation will have gone down and the bill will be lower.
Well, here if you shoot an arrow at the target thing, they give you a bunch of stuff for free because they're throwing it at you to get you away from the dang store.
I highly recommend going toward the chemical section where you can buy things for your car, but also for you.
Я не знаю, що відповісти на це питання.
Oh dear. Thank you all for communicating. Great seeing you all interact, almost congeal with one another. Well, this is us signing off. Stay curious, and don't forget what we always say. Walmart is safer than Target in Seattle. That's all, folks. We'll interrupt your sleep schedules again soon.
What did you say?